Hi everyone, I have some happy mail to show you today, which is fun. I received both of these things through the letterbox at the same time. As you can tell, I'm excited. The first is a book. Now, it's not like me to show you a fiction book, but this one I wanted to show you. The lovely lady that sent it to me was the daughter of the author, and she has been supporting my channel for so long. So I felt it would be nice to do her a little favour and just show the book on the camera. She sent it to me as a little gift, which was really kind of her. And it's a sort of Scottish-based story, which for me is really exciting, having lived in Scotland. And it's about the Silkies, who are the sort of mythical creatures that live off the coast. And I haven't read any of it yet, and it just sounds quite interesting. I don't normally read novels because I don't have a lot of time, and I think it might just introduce me back into reading. And I used to read loads. I loved it, so I'm really looking forward to it. And the thing I especially liked, which there was a glossary of Scottish words in here, which I think is really fun. Now, some of these I've heard of. Having lived in Scotland, I feel like maybe I should have heard of all of them, but I know that, strangely, I know bairn means baby or child, and I know blethering means gossiping, and I know that doolally means crazy, and that dram means a tot of whiskey or something like that. But other ones, and dunderheads, I know as well. It's weird that I know all these sort of offensive words. But anyway, it's really good fun, I think, and I'm going to enjoy having a look at that. But I thought we'd show you, and I will put a link in the description so you can go and have a little look on Amazon at it. Read the blurb, and maybe follow her or give her she doesn't have social media channels, so we can't support her in that way, but going having a little look at the book on Amazon and just reading the blurb and whatever, that can help, I think, a little bit. I think if a page gets lots of views, then it just helps it, I think that's how search engines work. Now, so that was a lovely gift from Frances, and I got this gift as well. Now, this one is more colouring related. It was upside down. It came from Tanya, and she said she'd seen someone trying these out and thought that I would like them. Now, I do love Koh-i-Noor pencils. I've got the Polycolour, which I really enjoy, but these are very different magic, which is fun. So I'm just going to dispose of that case for now. And so we get a tin. They say they're crash resistant and ergonomic, which is quite interesting. The lid comes fully off, which I rather like in a tin, to be honest. And they're upside down because I've already taken the lid off and put it on the wrong way. But let's just stand the tin in the lid. Okay. So here it tells us the names of all the different colours, which is rather nice. I am going to be trying them out, and I shall tell you the names as we go along. We've got the little guarantee there, which you tend to get in the Koh-i-Noor tins. And a little bit about this, and it says the special magic coloured pencil draws a multicoloured line consisting of several shades. The composite lead automatically shades the drawn line without the necessity of rotating the pencil around its axis. Already, a small shift in the drawing angle will change the diversity of colours. To achieve a shading effect, you just need to use one drawing instrument and shift the angle of its tip to get the desired effect. The special composition of the lead allows a smooth transition from one shade to another within one drawing line, thus creating a 3D impression. The magic effect will be most distinct when colouring larger areas. Instead of a plain single colour area, our magic pencil will create proper shading by a natural combination of its lead components. For example, your drawings of grass or sea will look more natural. Employing various drawing techniques such as shading and hatching will result in a more richly textured drawing than you could ever achieve with a regular coloured pencil. In order to finalise the natural appearance of a drawing, use the blender, which will blend the various shades together, thus creating a very complex appearance of the drawing. Even a beginner can draw like a professional artist with our magic colour pencils. Wow! So a very quick look at them. They are beautiful. These are quite pale. I'll hold up one that is a little more a little darker. Look at that, so pretty. And they all have a number on, but they don't have the colour names, so we'll refer to the chart as we go to help us. And you know I love a good chart. And we have, you can see quite a few yellows and oranges. Here we go to red. This is, I think that's sort of purpley, but that looks orange. I'm not sure. Pinks, lots of blues, yellows and yellowy greens, and greens, browns, and the sort of grey. I don't know if that's got black in as well. So what I thought, to sort of experiment with these, and also they're thick, they're chunky. It might not come out on camera, but here you go. There's a Noris. Look at that. Now luckily I have got a chunky sharpener, so that's fine, because I've got I used to have another set of chunky pencils, which actually I don't think I have anymore, but I gave them away to a friend who had a fire and all her pencils were destroyed, so I gave her a few things. I've got my Mandalas book. I thought it would be a good place to start. Oh, I just knocked some pencils on the floor. Oh dear, never mind, I won't need them now. So let's try and get it all in shot. Let's come out just a tad so we can see all. There we go. I will put some closer to the camera at a time so we can see the effect. So yes, this is the Colour Ya Mandalas book. I thought because the paper's thick and nice, and because, you know, I thought it'd be good to experiment on a sort of mandala page. I don't know why, it just occurred to me. So this is number 1. And actually, the colour names on this don't have the numbers. So I'm going to have to hope that they're in the right order in the box. Even though it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 22, 11, 8, 9, 12. Anyway, this is the lightest, and Summer Sun is the lightest. So I'm going to hope that I can guess. And let's go. Now with the thick lead, obviously we're not going to get into these teeny tiny spaces, so I'm just going to go around the edge here, or do the whole of this space. Now it's quite pale, that one, and it's dark in here, so I can't really see. So I'm not going to worry too much about this one. That'll just be our first colour. I don't even know if you can see it very well. And I actually think it might be far more useful for you if I come in closer, and rather than seeing a close-up of the pencils, you actually see a close-up of the colouring. So now you can see the yellow colour. The second one, which is number 2, I'm guessing might be the Sahara Sun. Look how beautiful that is. And I think I'm going to use it for here. Rather, I think yellow flower middles might be the way to go. So I'm going to keep it the same angle and put down some colour. It's going down nicely, you can see, and then turn it slightly on its end and see if I can get a different colour. I don't know, I can't see. As I said, it's this is a symmetrical picture, so I'm going to do that one. I'm going to turn it again, so we might end up with a different colour on this one. But that's okay. I'm not sure that the colours are that distinguishable with it being so pale. I am sure when we get to the darker ones, we're going to see it. Here we go, but it's feeling nice on this paper. Now this is the Colour Ya book, as I said, it's very thick paper. This one is number 3. Now I'm thinking this is probably Sunny Beach, as it's the third one. Now that's quite pale. Oh, I can see some different pigment in there. I can see a mix of colour, can you? I'm going to turn it slightly. Look at that. So I'm getting more than one colour coming. Interesting. Interesting. Oops, I just pushed my book into something on my desk. That's the other one. Sorry for the funny angle. Yeah, I just pushed a load of stuff to the edge of my desk. And now it's in my way. Wasn't the best idea. Now I can see that's quite liney, and I wonder if the blender would blend it in, but I'm going to wait until I do a colour that's a little more visible so that we can really see the effect. So this one's number 4, and I'm thinking this might be orange flower, but I'm not. Yeah, I think it would be. Should we do this one? Oh, that's pretty. That's nice. And if we turn it, we get a slightly different colour. Oh, look! We can put a dark rim. Oh, that was fun. Or I do the same with this one, but can I get the light colour first? Yeah. That's even lighter than the dark bit there. Huh. How fun. Oh, that's a bit darker. Never mind. There we go. Right, again, I'm still holding off using the blender. Now these are triangle, just in case you weren't sure. This is number 5, and I think this must be Fizzy Orangeade. I'm going to do another flower middle with it. I don't know why. I've decided that all the flowers middles are going to be yellow and orange. Look, that's quite pale. I'm going to do this one straight away while holding the pencil at the same angle, so I get that pale colour. I really like that colour. And then I'm going to turn it slightly and do the outside. Look at that. Huh. It's so fun. And this one. Now I'm really interested to see how they're going to blend, but well, wait a minute. So that's that. I just push back into the middle. Now this one, I think this is Pomegranate. We've got yellow, pink and red in that, a big mix of colours. We're going to do this one. And that is actually putting down different colours at once. Can you see that edge bit is yellow? That top bit is red. What fun. Interesting how they suggest using it for grass and sea, and I thought that's weird. But now I can utterly see what they mean, because it would look like the light was falling on it in a different way, or parts of it were thicker or thinner or deeper or shallower, that sort of thing. There we go. Huh, I like it. Now our next one is very orangey, but I think this is poppy flower, orange and yellow. I don't know. Let's do this, although that's not going to show the colour very well. Let's do these ones. So what have we got here? We've got quite an orangey colour. I may be getting these names wrong, by the way, because I may end up finding that I get to the end and I've got it a bit wrong, but we'll see. This looks more like the pomegranate colour in the picture, but I don't know how I could have got it so wrong. But anyway, we'll see what happens. The next one is really interesting. She says getting ever so distracted. Now I feel that there would be certain pictures where you wouldn't want to have a mix of colour in your picture. You know, like if you're doing a face, you don't want a sort of random mix of colour like this. But I think on something like this, it's such good fun. And you know, you don't quite know what you're going to get. You can, I think, learning how to use them, you would sort of be able to work out how to use them to the best, like how I made that darker circle edge on the flowers. You know, you could learn a bit more about how to do that so that you sort of got the dark bit where you wanted it, sort of thing. And of course you can layer them up, so you can sort of keep turning the pencil until it's at the place that you want for the colour that you want. I think it's really, really interesting idea. So very different to anything that I've got already. Now, the length of the pencil, I was just thinking they look really short, to me, but they are absolutely not. Look, that's lined up in the end. They're just, that's a brand new pencil, by the way, that I haven't sharpened it yet. Either this or the one I held it against. So you can see the petals are slightly different colours. Now, how natural is that? What plant do you have? You know, normally when I colour, I make all the petals the same, but it's not natural, is it? This one is interesting. Look at the end. We've got such a lot of different colours. Now, I think this is glowing ember. Okay, this one, I'm pretty sure it is. So, should we do these petals with this? I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm not going to worry about that. Perhaps I should worry about that outside bit and do that outside bit in a darker colour. So we've got quite a interesting orangey browny colour here, sort of blacky orange, beige, blacky beige maybe, and it's getting darker. Look, it's looking more black. Oh, it's gone lighter again. Try not to turn the pencil too much. I just want to see how it comes out. But I'm going to turn it in a minute. Now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to do this outside. That's much more orangey, I think. Oh, now it's gone black. It doesn't want to be consistent, but that's okay. I think that's, you can't expect it to be, because that's not how it's designed. Interesting. I love how they're called magic pencils as well. It feels so, they're chunky as well. It feels so sort of childish, but in a really fun way. There we go. Colouring, it's a bit messy. There's that one. It almost looks, oops, it's that one there. Slightly bronzy in a way, I was thinking. At a distance, which is, I like bronze. They are fairly hard. I am pressing quite hard, I have to say. But this paper can take that, so it's okay. That's okay with me. I don't mind. You know, they're not smushy soft like a Prisma. So, but that's, as I say, that's okay with me. Now, of course, you're going to see the lines. You know, you can see that I've been doing that. So should we get the blender on that and see? Let's do that. Yeah, I mean, you look at the blender. It just looks like a white. Feels... it feels quite similar. So this is 0. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I can see a difference. And it's not perfect, but it's definitely some change. I don't know if you can see that, but it's definitely working, which is nice. I always get a bit nervous about blenders because I've used some ones that are shocking. Now you want to know which ones. The Lyra Splendor blender. I just couldn't get it to work. It was almost as if it was just a dud or something. It just wouldn't work. I just noticed the end of these pencils, look. They're sort of pointy. I like it. And the wood, you can't see the lead. It's just wood. I like that. Little things, as they say. I don't know if you know that phrase. Little things please little minds. Number 11. Look at that. Beautiful pencil. And this one is red and purple. I think this is Spanish Night. Okay. Let's do a flower on its own. Let's do this one. Oh, it's this sort of reddish bluish colour. It's quite dark, isn't it, that blue? This one feels a bit scratchy. I think it just needs sharpening. You know how when you get a new pencil, sometimes it's a bit, you know, needs a sharpen. But as I say, I do have the right sharpener. You need to have the right size. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this sharpener, it doesn't fit in that big hole. So you need the proper one. But fortunately, as I say, I have one. Not in here. But I don't have a bin in here, so I don't want to be sharpening in here. Where am I going to put the sharpenings? Because it's not a barrel sharpener. It's just a normal one. It looks quite purpley, doesn't it? That one. No, so it's not a barrel sharpener, so I wouldn't want to just tip it all over the floor. There's a carpet in here. It's a house. It's not a studio. Yeah, studio. Be nice. My husband has his eye on my son's bedroom. I mean, we don't want them to move out. We're not trying to push them out. But he's like, oh. Because my son, the one that's in the attic, he has the view, a lovely view across big windows, you know. Well, that's quite dark, that bit, isn't it? So it's interesting, his room. But to be honest, it sounds really weird. It freaks me out. I don't like being in there. When I painted it, when it was first sort of built, I just felt like, oh, I don't know. I sometimes get this weird feeling, and I'm just odd that sort of someone's behind me or following me. And I got that in his bedroom. This is number 6, and it's called Erupting Volcano. What's that colour in there? Is that a beige or a green? I don't know. Should we find out? But yeah, I didn't like it in his bedroom, but he's fine in there. I've never told him I felt like that in his bedroom. It had to freak him out. So no, I wouldn't want that as my office. I like this room because I am facing a window which puts lots of natural light onto the desk while I'm filming. However, today the sunshine is so bright that it is all over the desk, and so I felt it would create too much glare. So I thought we would use the shut the blind and use the light. Now that's quite messy, isn't it? I've coloured it in quite a messy way. See, that's quite a big difference in colour in this one. So you've got that really pale colour, and then this quite dark colour. And if you get the odd bit there, it looks a bit messy. However, let's use our blender. I'm just going to scribble it on some scrap paper to get rid of the colour that we did already. I always do that with a blender. We can just tidy it up a bit. I think there was a bit of the old colour on there. Look at that. Much better. That really actually carries the colour into the white spaces that I've missed and everything. So very good blender, I would say. There we go. Oh, it's like a really cool flower. We're going to do the one at the top as well. Yes, so the light's all over the desk, so I shut the blind and put the lamp on. I'm just going to turn that round because it's quite pale. I'm in the habit of doing that. I need to be careful because when I'm colouring with a regular pencil, oh, look at that. We didn't get any of that colour on the other one. When I'm colouring with a regular pencil, if the colour isn't coming off very well because I sort of worn that side off, I tend to turn it round. You sort of spin it round in your hand. So I have to be careful when I'm using this one in case I don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? In case I don't want it to change colour. But I think I will practice a lot with them on sort of mandalas and things like that to start with, rather than using them in sort of, should we say, more realistic pictures? There we go. They look so different to that one. And done with the same pencil, I like that one better because it's, this one's too samey. That one's more fun because it's got lots of different colours. We now have a pink. This is called, sorry, I've got to wipe my nose. This is called Strawberry Ice Cream. I just love the name. It's such a good name. Oh, excuse me. Blah, blah, blah. Right, where should we go now? Should we go here? I sort of abandoned the middle, didn't I? But never mind. That's quite pale. Pretty. It looks to me from looking at the lead that it's a really pale pink and a slightly darker pink. Let's do the other one. I haven't done the centre of... oh, it's that one. That one isn't in this one. Oh, I'm confused. It's slightly different. The picture is confusing me, not the pencil. So that's the darker bit. It's still really pretty. Yeah, the this isn't completely symmetrical. This this mandala. What are you trying to do to me, colour? Yeah, confuse me. Oh, that looks quite scratchy, doesn't it? Can you see? We'll try and blend that out. It does here too, look. So we'll see what we can do with the blender. Just clean that end off. I've just got some scrap paper on the side here. So let's try and blend that in. I'm going to go crossways. I think it'll blend better. The only risk you take with doing that is that I'm sort of blending the black in as well, but if I try and go that way, it doesn't blend away, but go that way is better. It hasn't really there. There we go. A little bit better. I think I can smell strawberries as I'm doing this. I actually smelt the pencil then. It isn't scented. Completely mad. Don't worry. Okay. Forest violets. Look at that. It's just beautiful. I just want to stick these pencils on my wall. Right, we've got this one now. Gonna do, because we've got to the part where it's not symmetrical. So that's very purpley. Will it lead to some pink? I'm gently turning as I go to try to get to a pink bit, but I haven't found it yet. Oh, I turned it massively then when I moved my hand. Oh, there we go. Lots of pink. Nice. It's quite intense, that one, isn't it? No, that centre bit, well, I would do it with something else. Here we have Evening Storm. So we've got sort of red and blue, which is an interesting combination. I think we'll do the centre, just because, why not? So there is the blue. Oh, there's the red coming. I'm just going to layer it up a bit. You know how it said that you can layer and layer? Let's try that and see what happens. Gets a lot more intense. This paper likes layers. We can get a lot, can't we? I guess we don't want to go too dark, or else it might just end up going a bit black. That was fun. Now this one is called Summer Sky. We've got some more flowers up here that we haven't done that we don't have friends for, because as I say, it's not symmetrical. So we'll just do these. That's a nice colour. Nice pale blue. Now in comparison to other Koh-i-Noor pencils, I've got the poly colours. Although these are called Koh-i-Noor Hartmouth, like they are as well, I think these are a little bit harder than the poly colours, I would say. But not unreasonably hard. I don't think they're as hard as Crayola or Noris, for example. That's so pretty, isn't it? I like that. Now our next one is another blue, and this one is called Water World, and it's got a dark and a mid blue in it. I'm actually going to do this one, and then I'll do that centre with the darker blue that's coming up. I think it might show up more. But of course, as with all pencils, trying them on lots of different papers can help. You know, it doesn't always work the same on all paper. This is quite thick, particularly thick paper, but quite smooth. It'll be interesting to see how they work on the toothy books, mandala books that I've got. I've stopped telling you what numbers they are. I just think this is 15. I think it's Quiet Twilight. It's just so, it's like those paintings that people do when they throw paint all over a canvas. What's this, a pouring or something? I can't think of the name. That one's quite dark, isn't it? Now we're moving on to something very different. This is yellow and green, obviously. It is called Tropical Coast. We've got some blue in there as well. I want to use it for the centre of that flower, but it's such a small area. Let's go back to our centre and do these little bits so that we can see a decent amount. There's definitely a fair bit of yellow in there. And it's interesting because they don't mix brilliantly, but in a way I think that works better, because if they all mixed up, you might as well just have a colour pencil with the mixed up colour in it. Do you understand what I mean? You want a gradient of colour, you don't want it all mixed up. Or else, yeah, you might as well just have a bluey green yellow colour. There, that's fun. So we've got blue there and then yellows around there. I like that. So I'm trying to put them back away the right way round with their names facing upwards because they just look so neat and precious. This is number 18, and I think this is Dandelion Meadow. So we've got a lot of greens and yellows in there, so I think we'll do some leaves. There's a lot of leaves around here. So we do these. I'm assuming that's a leaf as well, is that? Yeah. Well, that's quite yellow, isn't it? But we're getting some green. No, it's quite liney, so I'm gonna layer it up a bit. And we're getting quite a nice limey green colour. Well, yellowy colour. There we go. That's nice. That's better. We've hidden the my lininess now. There we go. Okay, I'm only going to do the one in that colour. I think I'll obviously finish this one and do more, but I think we'll just get through and test them. I'm too impatient. So this is number 17. It's called Forest Stillness. What a name, eh? I think we'll do some of these pointy leaves. Yeah, I'm just checking you can see. So this top one here. That's a nice colour, but I like green. So I guess I'm probably biased. Now if I turn the pencil slightly, will it get lighter or dark on this one? It's about the same. getting carried away. I'll do this one and I'll stop and I'll change colour. Okay, the next is a green as well. This one is called, it's 19, it is called Rainforest. So we've got darker greens in here. Maybe I'll go for some of these ones around the outside here. I want to keep it quite consistent, so I've got the same shape leaves and the same green, and then I had a look and there were only 2 shapes of leaf. So yeah, so I thought I'd jump in on this bit instead. That one seems really smooth. It seems to be going down smoother. I don't know if that's possible, because surely they're all the same. It's fading as we go. This will be the last one of this colour. There we go, because you can't see any more anyway. So that's Rainforest. Now we have Bengal Tiger. What a good name. Look at that. We've got, what do we got in there? Brown, red, orange. I think we'll do a little bit of the central piece. Maybe all of this bit around here, because it's quite small. Just checking you're all in shot. I'm thinking maybe the whole of this bit. And it'll match that centre petal, because that's quite orangey. We'll see how we're getting. Being a tiger, you know, it's going to be stripy. I assume the Bengal Tiger is a stripy one. They're all stripy. What am I on about? Oh dear, I'm tired. Forgive me. Actually, I had a good sleep. Well, apart from the fact my husband's alarm woke me up at 4 o'clock, I said, what's that for? And he said, oh, it was to wake me up last week. He went to London. It was to wake me up from going to London, because you had to get, yeah, it takes a while to get there, so you have to start off early from here. And I was like, well, why did he set it for a weekly alarm? You know, just set it for a one-off alarm. But I've sent him a message to ask him to turn it off, because I thought about it this morning. But he doesn't pick his messages. He can't pick them up at work. Not allowed to use messaging services and things at work, which is fair enough. I could phone him, but then I don't want to disturb him at work. That's not the way to be. So I've sent him a message, and he'll probably pick it up in about 3 weeks' time, you know. So it always feels such a waste of time having a messenger service and then having to tell someone to check it. Why have I got you as a contact if you're not checking it? Anyway. But he, this is on Discord, which is the service my boys use. It's a sort of gaming setup for gamers. Oh look, we're getting a really dark colour now. But he uses it as well. But it doesn't sort of, you don't get an alert, an obvious alert that you've got a message. So it's, yeah, it's annoying. Australian bush. So we've got browns. I think there are 3 shades. I think they all have 3 shades. Doesn't it just look... Oh, sorry, there you go, beautiful. I think we'll just do these outside bits. Why not? So you can see it's a nice brown. Yeah, so yes, it's a bit annoying, but obviously if you live with someone you should be giving them the messages in person, but it doesn't always work like that. Either you think of it in the day when they're at work, or when you're out and they're in, or someone's doing something and you can't make a noise. Like in our house, someone's very often recording a YouTube video. I reckon that has to be filled in. Or things like that. So there's a lot of row. As you can't make a lot of row, I mean, you have to be quiet. So it's messaging can be quite useful. Plus sometimes things are better written down. not that sort of thing, but like if you were forwarding an email or something so they've got a copy of it as well, that sort of thing. I don't think that's too silly. So but yeah, it does sometimes seem a little bit silly talking each other on even through the house, but because our house is so big, tall I should say, it's not really huge, but it's tall. Look at the difference. Nice, really nice browns though, I like them. It's very, if you're in the kitchen and someone's on the top floor, they won't hear you have it if you holler. This is called titanium metal, look at that. Nice. Now what are we going to do with this? I'm thinking I'm going to come out a little bit, this bit, you need to see it all. There we go. Yeah, so we used to actually have a telephone in my son's bedroom on the top floor of the house, so we could phone him if he needed to come downstairs. But the problem was that if anyone rang us after he went to bed, it would wake him up. So we had to take it out, because this one, he was quite young and he's going to bed early-ish, and people might ring about 8 o'clock and he'd be already asleep. Yeah. So yeah, we had to come up with a different idea, and you didn't have a mobile phone then. I can't remember how old they were when they didn't get their mobile phones till they were 16, which yeah is very old, but they had a little rubbishy thing so that if they were out and about they could call me or whatever, but a pay-as-you-go dumb one, you know, as opposed to a smartphone, a dumb phone, that sort of thing, but with a camera on it. But once they, when they were at secondary school, between 11 and 16, the school didn't allow you to have phones at all when they first started, and then they sort of changed the rules a little bit. But you had to hand them in, so that because parents, I think, were going, I need to be able to contact my child, and they were like, well, hand them in, and you can only have them at the beginning and the end of the day. You know, hand them in before registration. If a phone goes off in a class, you get a detention. So mine said there's no point in getting a phone. Firstly, they got the bus, so if the bus was going to be really, really late, we would be sent a message from school, so that was fine. And they weren't wandering around walking on their own. The bus stop was literally at the end of the road, so I could actually see the bus. So there was no need for them to have one. But once they turned 16, they went to college, and college has timetables on the phone and everything else. So, you know, everything's on the phone. So you're expected to sort of have one, really. Right, I'm going to stop there. I've been chattering on and I'm colouring away, and come out so that you can have a look. I'm going to finish it, and I will put a finish. Oh, we're very squiff, aren't we? There we go. I'm going to put a finished picture on the end so you can have a look and see what you think about it. I feel that I need a lot more practice, and that's great because I'm having such fun. I'm going to really enjoy having lots of practice, so I shall be using them a lot more and trying to sort of practice as to whether there's a technique for getting the different colours, or whether it's better to just mishmash them up and have fun that way, you know. So I don't know yet, but I'm going to have some more play time with them, and I might even watch a few videos about them to see. But yeah, they are beautiful, as you can see, absolutely gorgeous, and really, really fun and interesting. So yes, I'll put a link to them in the description, and to this book. This book I was sent to by Colour, sent a copy. I have done a review of it, a flip through, and coloured a page on camera. I use gel pens in it, and it works well. I can tell you it's working very well with pencils as well, so that's good. And I'll also put a link to the novel as well, in case you want to have a little look at that one too. So thank you so much to the two lovely ladies who sent me gifts. As well as going away to finish off the picture, which you will see at the end of this video, I also watched a couple of videos colouring Pamela's Passion with Pencils. She's done a really good review, and she swatched the pencils on a swatch chart that she made that's in her Etsy shop. But I also had a go at swatching the pencils after watching her video and being inspired. Now, what I thought was a good way of swatching them was to do 3 swatches, one of each of the 3 colours that are within the leads. It's not that easy. I didn't achieve that brilliantly well. And then what I called a blended swatch. Now, I didn't use the blender, but I turned the pencil, so I grabbed the pencil and swatched it a bit, then turned it, so that hopefully you can see all of the colours. So I will come in a little closer and show you. Now, I'm going to scan this in a minute, and I'm going to put it on my Ko-fi shop for a free download, so you can have a much closer look if you wish. And there'll be a blank one in case you want to have a go yourself. So you can see with the Summer Sun, it's the yellows, there is a bit of a difference there. I can see lighter to darker, and the same with this one, but they blend together quite well. But some of them aren't such natural friends, shall we say. The Sunny Beach is nice, and the orange is nice in blending, and the fizzy orangeade. But when we get to the pomegranate, we've got yellow and red, and they're not such natural friends with regards to blending. And I think there, if you were doing that one, you would want to take your blending pencil to it to make it neater. But I purposely left it without, although it says it's blended, that isn't quite what I meant. I blended the colours within the pencil, not using the blender. I still don't know if I'm making sense. Anyway, the poppy flower, I could only get very similar looking colours, but then when we come to the glowing ember, it's really different. We've got this black and we've got this orange, and they're quite different, but you know, it's quite interesting. And Spanish Night as well. And what's interesting, I've got a lovely purple there, but it never came out when I did that one. I think there's a little bit there, so that's quite interesting. And the volcano as well. Here I've got a really pale yellow, which never came out when I did those 3 swatches. But with the pink, they're quite similar. And then with the forest violets, here I got a really light bit of pink, but I couldn't get it out when I did the swatching. So they are very variable. There is a fantastic video on YouTube where someone colours a door using the Australian bush, the brown. And it's fabulous. What she does is she colours the main part of the door in the lightest brown, and then she uses the darker 2 to make the wood grain effect, and it's amazing. And unfortunately there's no speaking, it's just the music on the background of the video, so she can't tell you how she's doing it, but obviously she's just turning the pencil. But you have to be really careful, because the way it is designed, let me show you. Oops, let's get out the brown. So you've got all the different colours within the lead, but once you wear one out, it's going to take you through to the next one. So you're going to have to keep a close eye on what you're doing in case you accidentally go into a dark one when you want a light one. But I really think that there's a lot of fun to be had with these. Some of the colours I'm much more fond of than others, but that's always the case with all pencils. When I first looked at this one here, for example, with the blue and green, I thought, oh, not sure. But once I put it together, I'm thinking water. It just says water. It's going to make really lovely water if you can just get it quite right and blend it together nicely. I spelt it wrong. This is a spelling error. What I'll do, I'll correct that error on the blank chart, but I'm gonna scan this one so it'll have an error in it. I think quite a few of my charts have got a few errors in, particularly some of the bigger ones where it took so long to swatch them. I just couldn't cope with the thought of doing it again, because swatching isn't something I'm fond of, although this was a lot of fun. You see in the metal we've definitely got light grey, mid grey and black, so there's, you know, and they obviously blend up together quite well. So it was fun. So I just really wanted to let you know that this will be available. I will put a link in the description for this chart, so that'll be available in my Ko-fi shop to download for free. And I really felt that you can look at the picture at the end, but I feel like I didn't really do the pencils justice. I think I need more practice, and next time I think I'll do a lot better. So it might look a little bit odd. I think I haven't really done the best job anyway, but they're fantastic fun. I sent my sister a photo of them and she said they're so pretty, and I said I know, I want to just put them in a frame and hang them on the wall. And I want to use them, but they're gorgeous, aren't they? Anyway, thank you for watching. Hold on and you'll see the completed picture. But thank you again to the lovely lady Tanya that sent these to me. I'm so excited. I'm going to have such fun. And happy colouring, everyone.